before this we talked about Q, right? We have seen that Q is a linear data structure which follows the principle of first in, first out, right? We have seen its implementation in C programming language. Also we have seen one of the application of Q, that is in scheduling of the processes, and in that one example we have seen first come first serve. Here now we are going to talk about circular queue. We are going to talk about circular queue. So what is circular queue? Circular queue is a linear data structure. Again, it is a linear data structure in which the operations are performed based on first in first out order or principle. The last position, however, in this case the last position is connected back to the first position to make a circle. This is also called as ring buffer. Buffer is what? Something to store. Okay, so what we store in queue? The elements. Okay, so here it is kind of a ring buffer. So last element is preceded by, let's say, is preceded by the first element. Last element नंतर काय असतो? First element असतो. Okay, in normal queue we can insert element till queue become full, but once queue becomes full we cannot insert the next element even if there is a space in front of the queue. We have seen this example, this limitation in last lecture itself. I told you that we have 5 elements in the queue, size is 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Now the rear is pointing to the last element. For example, last element is inserted. Okay, now when we will delete these 2 elements, as queue is full we cannot insert new element, but as we have deleted first 2 elements, 2 spaces are available, still we can't insert the element, and that was the limitation with the queue implementation that we have seen. So for that, to overcome this, we have a concept of circular queue. See, this is an example of circular queue. I hope you can see here, front is pointing to element which is at index 0. Then assuming that we have inserted element at 0 1 2 3 4, when we will insert last element, rear will point to the next free slot. Rear is going to point to the next free slot. Okay, so this is nothing but, now see here, this is the last index of the queue. After 7 we have 0. That means the last index is preceded by the 0. Is this clear? Okay, so last index is preceded by the index 0. Is this clear? Now why I am calling as index 0? Because we are using array implementation. Okay, if it is normal implementation, then last index will follow to the first, last element will follow the first. Okay, so that is nothing but the circular queue. Now what are different operations that we can perform on circular queue? Same, that is insert element, then delete element. Okay, here what we call, let's say one operation we do, that operation is front, to get the front item from the queue, rear to get the last item from the queue. Now we do in queue operation and then TQ operation. So what is in queue operation? To this in queue operation we are passing the value, that is data, to insert into the queue. That is in queue operation. So here this function is used to insert an element into the circular queue. In a circular queue, the new element is always inserted at a rear position. We know that at rear position we insert a new element in the queue, right? Now before inserting element into the queue, we need to check whether queue is full or not. If queue is full, then we can't insert element into the queue. So what is the method? Check if rear is equal to size minus 1, as well as front is equal to 0. Now see, if front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to size minus 1, then only we will say that the circular queue is full. If rear is equal to size minus 1, but if we have deleted item at 0, so one slot is available, so at that time rear should point to 0. Are you getting this? At that time rear should point to 0 because element at 0 is deleted. That means that slot is available. So that is what we have to see here. Now see, if it is full, if this condition is true, so if it is full, then display queue is full message to the user, Otherwise, if Q is not full, then what we need to check? Check if rear is equal to size minus 1 and front is not equal to 0. If it is true, then set rear to 0 and insert element. That means rear value is size minus 1 and front element is deleted. So we have to change the value of rear to 0 so that new element can be inserted at rear location. Right? Now DQ operation. This function is used to delete an element from the circular queue. In circular queue, the element is always deleted from the front position. This is what we have already seen in the queue, normal queue representation and implementation. Right? Elements are deleted from the front of the queue. Right? So here what we need to check when we want to delete an element. Initially we need to check whether my queue is empty. If queue is empty, no deletion. If queue is empty, no deletion. So check whether queue is empty means check front equal to minus 1. Check front equal to minus 1. Now in this case, if it is empty, then we are going to display queue is empty. If queue is not empty, then we will go to the step number 3. So this is our step number 3. What step number 3 says? If check if front equal to rear, then if this is true, then set front equal to rear equal to minus 1. When front and rear both are same, that means we have inserted 2 elements and then we have deleted that 2 elements. So both their values are same. So again we will set them to minus 1 because our queue is empty. Right? So we need to insert element from beginning. Or what we can do, we can insert element from that position only because our queue is already circular. Okay? So here we are going to set the values of front and rear as minus 1, and if front and rear are not same, then we are going to check if front is equal to size minus 1. If it is true, then set front equal to 0 and return the element. So we are going to return the element that we are going to delete. That means last element is deleted and then front is set to 0. Is this clear? See, what is the condition? Check whether front is equal to size minus 1. If size is 5 minus 1 is 4, that means front is pointing to the last element from the queue. So that element will be deleted. So that element will be return the element. And now when last element is deleted, what we do basically, we increase the value of front by 1. But now that is the last position. After last position, it should point to the first position. What is index of first position? 0. So we must set the index of the position as 0. Is this clear to everyone? Yes, everyone? Okay. So these are nothing but the functions of the circular queue. In here we will understand graphically how these operations will take place. Now let's see. Initially front and rear both values are 0. Okay. And when both are same, it means what? Queue is empty, right? Now my queue is empty. I begin with in queue operation. Okay, observe the complete screen. Okay, we begin with in queue operation. Now the first element is inserted at rear location. Rear location is 0. Front is also pointing to 0. Now rear value should be increased by 1 to point to the next empty slot. So here is the rear. Okay, now rear is pointing to index 1, next empty slot. I again want to perform one more in queue operation. So in queue 12 is inserted here and now rear is pointing here. Now in queue 13 is inserted here and rear is pointing to next free slot. Now in queue 14 is here, rear is pointing to the next empty slot. Now the DQ operation. Is in queue operation clear to everyone? How the value of rear is increased? Yes? How the value of rear is increased? Clear? Now let's talk about DQ operation. What DQ operation does? It removes the element from front of the queue. Now what is value of front? 0. Front is pointing to index 0. So first DQ will delete what? 11. Now front should be increased by 1. So front should point to 1. That means element 12. So now see here, front is pointing here. Clear? Now again we are going to perform DQ. So 12 will be deleted and front is going to point 13. So is this clear to everyone? in q and dq, both operations of the circular queue. Okay.